What's going on, YouTube? What's going on, wrestling fans? You can't see me. Welcome back to Total Turnbuckle Talk, and welcome back to New York Yankee Mania. SmackDown just ended 2 minutes ago, so today we are going to be, like usual, recapping Raw and SmackDown. How's it going, Joe? How are you feeling today?
Okay, not too bad. I know there's a lot of streams that are having trouble today and everything. So we'll try to do the best we can.
Yeah.
People going in and out and everything. I also want to welcome Victor, who did a great job with us last week. He's going to talk a little bit about some yesteryear news and everything, just to break a few things up. So without any further ado, let's see if Victor is ready, and we can bring him up to say hi. And let's see, he's giving the thumbs up. Hi, Victor. How you doing?
What's going
Welcome
on,
back to Total
Victor? Hey,
Turnbuckle
man.
Talk.
What's up, gentlemen? Can you hear me?
Yes,
Hear
we
you
can.
great.
Yes, we can. How you doing, man?
TJ, pleasure to finally meet you, my friend.
Pleasure. It's a pleasure.
Appreciate you for allowing me to step in for you kind of last week when you
Yes,
were on
thank you.
assignment.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Checked
So
out,
much go on.
been checking out your channel and your videos. Very impressed, man. You got
Thank
a
you.
you
Thank
got a
you.
great passion for this, and look like you might have a little bit of a future ahead of you, my man. So
Thank
keep
you.
up.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you. That means a
Just
lot.
stay
Thank you.
dedicated. Always stay dedicated
Yes.
to the product and stay dedicated to yourself. Stay dedicated to your craft.
Yes. Thank you so much.
If he doesn't, I'm going to give him a boot in the you know what to make sure
Ah.
he does. No
You're
question.
you're you're closer to him, Joe, so you could do that. You know him. I'm just,
Other
I'm just going to give him some advice.
I just want to make everybody new in the stream, please don't forget to subscribe to NY Yankee Mania, Total Turnbuckle Talk, and the Third Floor Podcast with Victor. So there's a lot going on, guys. Glad to see new people in the stream. Thank you so much. So let's get to some news of SmackDown. Go ahead.
Yes. So actually, I figure we're gonna start with Raw. Actually, because Raw is the first thing that came up. So yeah. I mean, is that okay with you guys? Can we start with Raw because Raw was first?
Go
Your
ahead.
show, my brother. Go.
All right. So okay. So Raw kicks off this week with CM Punk, our new World Heavyweight Champion, coming out and celebrating as one would do. You know, CM Punk is finally the World Heavyweight Champion. CM Punk is finally that champion he's been looking for. You know, he came back in 2023, said he's here to make money and he's here to win championships. And he's been doing that and making a lot of money, definitely. And then, you know, CM Punk, you know, he's all like, this is my championship. I'm going to challenge people for it. And then Logan Paul comes out. Now, before I continue with what happened, I want to ask you guys, what do we think about Logan Paul? Do we think that Logan Paul is ready for that world title picture? Do we think that he was ready back in 2023 or 2022 when he faced Roman Reigns? Is he ready now, and has he progressed from before?
You want to take that, Victor? Or you want me to take it?
I'll jump on it first, and
Go ahead.
I'll tell you this, Tej. I've been watching wrestling for a really, really, really long time. Logan Paul reminds me of Shawn Michaels when he first. Let's put it this way: after Shawn Michaels put Jannetty through the window on the barbershop and became Shawn Michaels,
Famous heel
yeah,
turn, yeah.
yeah, that's Logan Paul right now. You got a modern day Shawn Michaels and Logan Paul. And I think the company right now, out of all the guys that they're using properly, he's one of them. I think what they do with him is it's the right moves. He's real vital to the WWE right now. I'm a fan of his, and like I said, he reminds me of that Shawn Michaels, that heel turn Shawn Michaels.
No,
That's
yeah.
Logan Paul.
No, yeah, I totally agree with you, and I totally think that Logan Paul is essential to not only WWE but also the factions inside of WWE. You know, we are split up into two groups, mainly two groups. You know, you got faces and then you got heels. There is some gray area in between, but mainly we are, you know, we're split up into those two groups. And Logan Paul, in my opinion, might be the face of heel. It's either Logan Paul or Seth Rollins. Now, there is an argument for Seth Rollins being the modern day HBK, but Logan Paul is up and coming. You know, Logan Paul hasn't been here for a lot of time, but Logan Paul is hated, quote unquote, hated by everyone. But we all have to admit that he has a lot of freaking talent. He's so good in the ring. And the WWE right now, the heel side of WWE would not be where it is right now without Logan Paul.
I would agree with you. And another thing we said there about Seth Rollins, like I don't know who would even put him in the same sentence as Shawn Michaels. He's nowhere near anywhere the class of Shawn Michaels, not even close. I mean, Shawn Michaels put in the work. Logan Paul is putting in the work. Seth Rollins, it's the same gimmick over and over and over and over and over. There's no character development. I'm flat on Seth. I'm not a big Seth fan. I don't think he's good for the company, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Well, he holds the fort while Roman Reigns, gets all this time off, and they don't tell you in the background, but I don't think he's 100%. And I'm not even talking about injury. You don't forget, he was a very sick man a few years back, and hopefully none of that came back. They might be hiding it. Sometimes I see that Roman's a little skinnier than we remember. Then I don't know. I'm not sure, but I do. I mean, I like the Seth Rollins character, but I think they take it a little bit too extreme. That's the way I feel about that.
No, yeah. I mean, totally. I do think that the Seth Rollins gimmick is getting a little stale. He's had a very similar gimmick from 2025, 2020, and even like all the way back to WrestleMania 31. I think WrestleMania 31, heights of the century, that kind of defined who Seth Rollins was. And then after that, there was kind of a period where Seth Rollins was in his prime. I think that kind of went from WrestleMania 31 up until like quarantine 2020 to quarantine 2021, and then the gimmick got kind of stale. I do think that Rollins, this new heel character, I think that if we're going to keep Rollins in the company and keep him on the main roster, keep doing all these things with him, that's where we need to put him, because he ran he did his stuff as a face, he did all that, but as a heel, he really does excel in that field, and I think that's where he needs to be.
Yeah, and TJ, you could go through a couple of the matches, because we could talk for hours and hours and hours. We just want to get also people caught up with SmackDown and Raw. So go ahead.
Okay, so Seth Rollins, CM Punk, and Logan Paul aside, CM Punk came out, Logan Paul came out, and the Vision came out. Match scheduled for later in the night between CM Punk and one of the members of the Vision. Okay, whatever. So next thing on the card that happened was Nikki Bella and Stephanie Vaquer versus the Judgment Day, and the Judgment Day win this match. Now, let's just kind of go into this very briefly here. I think the Judgment Day is a good faction on its own, but I'm kind of annoyed that, they're winning the matches in the same way every single time. And again, just like Seth Rollins, it is getting a little stale. What do we think about the Judgment Day, very briefly?
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you. I think it definitely falls into that getting stale line. And I think you're going to use that a little bit more than you usually do, especially the way things have been going lately as far as creative.
No, yeah, you're right.
And the thing is, you bring back Nikki Bella, which everybody absolutely loves, is in love with this woman, and she keeps losing. I mean, what good is that? Why would she come back and just keep losing and losing and being, I don't know. I understand it's great money and all of that, but your reputation, I'm sure she's not happy with the way things are running right now. And that bothers me. And then, of course, when we get into Tiffany Stratton, that'll tell you even more. So that will definitely, I got a lot to say about that.
Yeah. And that picture was way bigger than I thought it was going to be. You don't
worry about it. It's okay.
Anyways, okay. So next thing on the card, Penta beats El Grande Americano. You know, I don't really have any complaints for this. I think Penta's a very talented member of the roster. I know some people aren't too keen on Penta because he's new or whatnot, but I think he's very talented. I'm also getting sick of the El Grande Americano thing, and I think he should have been unmasked at WrestleMania 41.
Yeah, it's got to
But
go.
I don't really have any thoughts about it. You guys?
No,
So,
not me.
so, you know.
No,
No,
not on that.
I have
Yeah.
I have no say. I'm not interested in that. To me, that I mean, it's a nice thing to fill up the card, but you know, you're not spending $200 to go see Americana against Penta. Let's face it.
Well,
So,
especially when there's no storyline attached to it. What's going to
Oh,
draw
yeah.
me into that arena? If there's what's the history with these guys? I mean, give me something, but they don't give you nothing. So it's like you said, it's a filler on the card.
yeah, that's all like they used to do
Totally,
in the
yeah.
garden. They used to
Yeah.
wait for people to come in. So they had, the bozos wrestling in the beginning, the
Well,
wannabe,
yeah.
and then you got into the card. So,
No, yeah.
Okay.
So the next thing that happened was, Dominic Mysterio being Dominic Mysterio, the son of Rey Mysterio, came out and was being Dominic Mysterio. I mean, there's nothing really to say. He was being a jerk, whatever. And as we know, Rey Mysterio got injured right before WrestleMania 41, which really sucked. And then Rey Mysterio returned and whooped Dominic's butt. And I think this was completely well-deserved, and I'm glad to see that Rey Mysterio has recovered fully, and I'm glad to see that Rey Mysterio is back kicking some butt. What do you guys think?
God rest his soul, Eddie Guerrero.
Yes.
We've done this. We've done this before. I've seen this scenario before. So again, son against dad. We had Vince against Shane. I mean,
Yes. Yeah.
give me something different. Don't be wasting Dominic's talent on something to put his dad over, or his dad to kick his butt, teach him a lesson, take him behind the woodshed. Come on, you probably got you. Dominic is probably right now your most talented wrestler in the on the entire roster. And again, just being used as like a gimmick thing, man. I don't know.
And I think that especially applies and proves you right because Dominic Mysterio and Rey Mysterio had 2 back-to-back WrestleMania matches, which was kind of crazy.
Yeah, give me something different. Change it up, or create a whole new storyline. Something.
Exactly.
Don't just put dad against son. We've been there and done that.
Yeah.
Enough.
Yeah, exactly. So the next thing on the card was Becky Lynch basically just stood on the announce table and said she was the best. That's literally all. That's literally all that happened. I think that was kind of like a filler of time. I don't know. Kind of ridiculous and not really. There really wasn't a point to that.
I mean, it made no sense. That made absolutely no sense to go on top of the Michael Cole's table and yell and scream, bah, 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 for why? What did that do? Nothing.
Nothing. Yeah, it didn't do anything.
Made no sense.
But it's not just her saying it. Sports Illustrated saying it too, so it must be true.
To take a quick trip down memory lane, when me and my boys would get together, and we would get together for every pay-per-view every month, and we'd be at one guy's house. We'd always chip in, but we used to get so into it, and we had a thing. It's not a pay-per-view until somebody goes through the Spanish table. And we wait all night. And as soon as somebody would go through the Spanish table, we'd be like, all right, now it's a WrestleMania. It's officially a pay-per-view or whatever we were watching.
Yep.
And the reason I bring that up is because the announcer's table back in the day used to be such a vital weapon to the heel. And they used it to perfection. Now it's just a gimmick. It's like, come on, man. You take so much away from the old days that when you put it into this stuff, especially with no storyline, like you said, she goes out, she stands on the table, she breaks it. Okay, what are we doing here? You know,
Yeah.
back in the day, it was strategic, man. Guys would go on the table and then come off the table and go wrestle around the ring 2 or 3 more times, back on the table. You're like, okay, he's going to break the table now. And then off the table again, back in the ring for a couple, another bump outside, and then boom, the table comes out of nowhere. So when you least expected it back then, you got it, if you know what I mean. Now, you know when it's coming. You can see it a mile away. So even that, it seems that they've taken an edge off even that creative of that. And like I
No,
said, that
yeah.
used to be a vital, vital weapon to the heel, man.
No, yeah. Actually, a fun fact. I don't know if you guys know this, but but one of those kind of like unwritten rules in wrestling. A lot of people do this, but some people don't. That you always break the Spanish announce table first.
Yes,
No
yes.
clue. That's just kind of the rule. That's kind of how it's been. That's just always kind of been. So we just stuck with it.
And it's a great tradition, believe it or not. And it goes
It
back.
is.
Look, I'm telling you about when I used to watch it back in the 80 pay-per-views. When they first instituted that, the first time they had the Spanish table, it was destroyed that night. So
Yeah.
from the first time they put those guys there, and Joe, refresh my memory because you might remember. I'm pretty sure Jose Morales was. I mean, Pedro Morales was part of the Spanish at the very beginning. When he stepped out of the ring, I think he went to the Spanish table. I can't remember the other guy's name. I think his name was Rivera or something. Hugo. And those guys became part of the show. And again, I'm all right, I'll stop there. But when you said that about the table and what Joe was
yeah.
saying, what are we doing here? And I was like, you know what? Pointed out that used to be something special.
No,
Not
you're
only
right.
that,
You're totally right. So the
And
next
one
thing,
final thing about the table, and then we go on to the next matches, but they're advertised now. Step into a Slim Jim.
Yeah.
Whatever. I mean, it's ridiculous. Even the tables have commercials. Give me
That's-
a break.
that's why you
Yeah.
got so many of them.
It's
really.
it's mainly just it's TKO and corporate greed. It got to WWE. The money got to them. Anyways, the next thing on the card was the Kabuki Warriors, aka Kairi Sane and Asuka, versus Bailey and Lyra Valkyria, and the Kabuki Warriors took the win on this one. Before I continue, thank you, Evan. Now, me personally, I think that when WWE introduces a faction, this new faction with as heels, I think they do a great job introducing it at first, and then they just do it again and again and again and again, and then it becomes stale. And then you want some variety, you want a different kind of outcome. We've seen Asuka use the poison mist on Raw how many times? Like it keeps happening, and we'll talk about it later. But on SmackDown tonight, Asuka did the spray thing on Alexa Bliss. It's ridiculous, and it's too much, and we need to stop it. But I think it's just a weird situation,
Yeah, they see the women's division is just saturated, and just in my opinion, the last place you need a fraction is in the women's division.
Yeah.
You don't need a group of women running around. You don't need that. You need a couple women to hook up for their tag team, and everybody else is on an individual basis. That's how the old days with the women. That's why I made it special with the you could say what you want about the fabulous Moolah, especially after she retired and started teaching girls like Wendy Richter and girls like that who later came down. I mean, the list goes on and on who came up through Moolah with that kind of women's attitude and kept that kind of women's wrestling pure, and to the extent to almost equal of that of the men of performing. In other words, these women who were in the ring were performers just like that of the men. You were getting the best women, high quality trained women wrestling back then. Now it's just, I'll be honest with you, man, it's just a bunch of silicone and fake everything flying around, and that's all it is. And it's just itself. And I think it's disgusting. And I think that the women's, like I said, it's saturated. You don't need 500 women running around and wrestling. You just don't need it. I'm not trying to take anything away from women, man. But but let's be honest here.
They're good performers. They're great.
Yeah, a lot of them are, but a lot of it's just gymnastics and not wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
It was different when Wendy Richter would lay you out with a standing drop kick.
Yep.
Or a off the top rope missile drop kick by Wendy Richter. I mean, that woman was 6 foot something coming off the top rope with a missile drop kick.
Leader.
I mean, just amazing. But now you don't. Everything is. I don't know. Sorry.
No. You're good. You're good. No, totally. I do agree that the women's division has become somewhat saturated in a way, and I'm not. And again, we're not trying to take away from women wrestlers because there are so many fantastic talent, but it's just the same thing over and over again. And that what the women's division I think right now needs is some change.
It needs a Kong back. It needs a Victoria. It needs Charlotte Flair to be Charlotte Flair and not whatever. Or she's just past it and like her father just doesn't want to move on. But the early Charlotte Flair was that old school. And then she just fell into the realm of the commercial and then
Victor, they have somebody right there. My girl Rhea Ripley.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't going to bring her up because
she's an animal. She's fantastic.
Again, not being used properly, and again, no storyline attached to her. Why do I like her? Why don't I like her? The fans don't know she's a heel or a face, and she's not being. I mean, she's a modern day China, to be honest with you.
Yes.
Okay? Yes, definitely.
You see how they used China back in the day? Yeah, questionable because
China and Rhea Ripley together.
They would
beat the Demolition. They would beat any of those teams.
Yeah.
Well, if China was able to hold on to her youth this long to be able to team up with her, Rhea, but excellent manager, excellent tutor. I mean, I feel, man, it's one of the hardest stories in all of wrestling when it comes to losing wrestlers is the China story. It's just a horrifying, heartbreaking story. But what China did at that point in wrestling I'm not only saying this for women's wrestling, what she did for wrestling, man, it brought in a whole different vibe of a group of fans, and those fans latched on and kept on and stayed on even after her passing and stuff. And it's just a shame that maybe we don't tip our hat enough to China for what she did, not only for, like I said, women's wrestling, but for wrestling.
She's not 100%. Because she went out with Triple H. I mean, give me a break. Forget about that.
Those were absolutely whatever days. Those are the jungle days, as Ric Flair likes to call them. We were all swinging in the jungle. All right, well, whatever, dude. That's cool. Save it for the book. Save it for the movie. But when you're talking talent, don't abuse it and don't waste it. And they did both to China, and that's pretty much why she wound up where she's at now. I mean, in a better place or whatever, not in pain no more. But they did both to her. But back then it was acceptable. It was okay. Remember we had matches where China was involved. She was the Intercontinental Champion. Okay.
Yeah.
She took her to that level, man. Put her right up there with the dudes, and nobody complained about it. We were stoked about it. We're like, my God, China's the IC champ. Awesome.
Yeah.
You gave me a story. You gave me something to believe in. But now, like we say, with the women's, it's saturated. Who's who? What's what? And everybody's got a belt.
No, yeah, you're right. And okay, so we have a comment here by Tex Hockey Cards. He says it's all high spots with not a meeting. There's no story in wrestling. Each match has a place and there's no build up. Now, I will say, see, we appreciate the take. I'm not gonna speak for all of us, but I appreciate the take. But I am going to have to disagree with you, man. Listen, wrestling at its core, wrestling at its core is wrestling, right? But wrestling, when we think outside of that and we actually observe the bigger picture and we observe what we love about wrestling and what keeps us engaged and what separates wrestling from everything else on TV is storylines. They're storylines that are built up over multiple generations. You have storylines that have been building up since the 90s, and then finally, maybe if they ever even resolve in 2025. That's crazy. It's like 30 years. I don't know if that's correct. That's like 30 years. That's crazy. And that's what keeps us engaged. We get engaged in the factions. We get engaged in not only just the combat, but why they're fighting. And yes, it has gotten a little bit stale, but that doesn't mean that we have to say that all wrestling has no storyline. And he says each match has to tell a story. There's a difference between that and tabloid junk. Okay, sure. I think that again, what keeps us engaged in wrestling is the fighting and storylines, but also there are matches that I think we should be able to have a little bit of fun with. No, I don't think every match has to be specifically we tell a story, but again, at its core, it's entertainment, right? And I think if we criticize it too hard and we dive into it too hard, we're not going to enjoy it for what it really is. And it's built around stories, but it's also built around wrestling. And I think we just kind of need to look at the bigger picture and accept it for what it is.
Yeah, I agree with you, Tej. And Texas Hockey Cards, thank you for coming on over, man. I appreciate you coming on.
Thank you.
He's one of my third floor guys.
Oh, really?
So it's good to see somebody come on over and actually get involved in the show. I appreciate it. Thank you. Texas Hockey Cards is also a good follow, man. He does cards collections. He's got some really far out cards, man. So he's a good watch. He just does straight videos. So Texas Hockey Card, thank you, man. Appreciate the comment.
Thank you.
Yeah, really. Thank you, Tex. If you ever want to join, talk about your cards, but by all means, let us know. Let Victor know. And hey, worst comes to worst, if you want to come on and you're comfortable with Victor, by all means, we'll accommodate. That's what we do here on Yankee Mania. I do see a lot of different names in here, everyone. Please subscribe. I thank you all for coming on and subscribe to Total Turnbuckle Talk. We all do a great job. You need to go see the videos that TJ puts out. They're amazing.
A lot of energy, man. A lot of energy.
Thank you. Everyone also go check out New York Yankee Mania. He is very consistent. He posts every single day, usually. He covers the Yankees. And if you are a Yankee fan, this guy is the place to go. Great enthusiasm. He brings on special guests every single week. And speaking of every single week, we are going to be live every single week right after SmackDown, discussing Raw and SmackDown. And also don't forget, on November 29th, which is the Survivor Series pay-per-view, or PLE as they call it now, we are going to be going live, commentating the event, just like we are Michael Cole and Corey Graves. We are going to be on the sidelines telling you exactly what's happening. So if you are in need of someone to watch during Survivor Series, you want to hear someone give you their thoughts on it, come check us out. We're going to be doing the entire stream. We're going to be commentating the entire thing. Anyway, so
looking forward to that.
That's going to be a lot of fun.
Definitely.
I'm not sure if I want to be a Bobby Heenan or Jesse the Body. I'll figure it out, but I will definitely take the heel run on the commentating table that night. Okay, and let's see who goes through our table. Somebody's going to have to go through our table to make it official. But yeah, people, please don't miss that. It's going to be interesting to call a live PLE, as you call it, Survivor Series. Man, it's going to be interesting. So definitely check it out, man.
Thank you guys so much for the support in the chat. I really do appreciate it. Thank you for welcoming me on to New York Yankee Mania. Thank you guys, and also Joe, and also Victor. Thank you, for welcoming me onto the stream. It's been a pleasure. But without, I still have a couple more. We have two more things on the Raw thing. We're on the Raw card. We had AJ Styles and Dragon Lee versus the Judgment Day for the titles. AJ Styles and Dragon Lee retain. Not too much to note about that. We do have to keep moving. And the main event of the night was Jey Uso and CM Punk versus the Vision. And so again, I went over this on my channel, but at the end of the match, it was an all-out brawl, whatever. And then Logan Paul, which came up earlier in the night, actually hit CM Punk with the brass knuckles and ensuring a false sense of security on CM Punk. And again, we were just talking about Logan Paul and how he's a phenomenal superstar and that he should keep going and how he could be a modern day Shawn Michaels. But with that, again, we kind of already covered it, But I think it is time to move on to the SmackDown card. The November 7th episode of SmackDown, which just ended. So let's kick it off. So, show kicks off. Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare, walks out, and he basically just says, Drew McIntyre, am I right? And then he's like, anyone who let me sit in the crowd with you guys and see who is going to be the new contender for my championship. And before we can even get into the crowd, he gets interrupted by none other than Aleister Black. Aleister Black, someone who stepped away from WWE for a while, and came back, and he's not Malachi Black anymore. He is still Aleister Black, and now he's challenging Cody Rhodes for the championship, and that match is going to happen later on SmackDown. So that, again, we don't really have anything to say about that. We're going to cover that at the end of this segment. So yeah, that match is happening later in the night. So the first actual match that happened, or I don't know if this is in chronological order, but one of the matches that happened was Charlotte Flair versus Nia Jax. And Nia Jax won this match with the help from Lash Legend, a NXT superstar. Now, my question to you guys is, should WWE keep bringing up these NXT superstars and helping out main roster to elevate not only the main roster, but the NXT roster?
No. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. What do you think, Victor?
No, I agree with you, Joe. No, again, if you have a storyline that is attached to something, okay. But if you're just bringing guys up and down, for what reason? I mean, you're exposing me to somebody. What? You're just throwing somebody out there to see how the fans react? I mean, I don't know. I don't get it. But no, I don't agree with it at all.
I don't like it at all. And to even talk about it makes me cringe, because you're bringing in somebody from NXT. Bring them in because you want to bring them in with their talent, not because they're going to come in here and help WWE's person there. All right, they're all one umbrella, but everybody knows my point. You got to bring them up and let them go on their own. Don't give them help. Don't let them help anybody. Make your own storyline. Is that so tough? I don't think so, but that's my take.
No, well said. I agree with you. I don't even know why it exists. I mean, I don't even know why I really don't. I mean, you got Raw, you got SmackDown. Load the rosters. Why do we need a third division? Or is it a division? Or is it the minors? I mean, again,
and then it makes no sense. Show that somebody wins the title to go to SmackDown, Raw, or NXT. That's on Sunday nights on A&E. I mean, they're good wrestlers.
You're talking about LFG? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, didn't they call that Tough Enough back in the day?
Yes.
Yeah, that's when Maven.
Yeah.
So instead of the competition, now you got it's again moneymaker, man. Money.
Yeah, I'm doing what I can to bring Maven on here. Maven has his own podcast, and he lets it all out. Yeah. He lets it all out, and I'm hoping one day we get him on the show because his take would be incredible. And we are working very hard because these guys have crazy schedules, even podcasters in wrestling, because they're following everybody everywhere. So, but one day I'm really hoping Maven would be incredible. He has incredible stories, and he could tell you what it was like from Tough Enough to WWF and WWE and all that good stuff. But
what's this comment that's up here that's blocking me?
Oh, it is. Yeah, it is.
I can't even see me. What is this comment? I hope it's a good one.
Okay, I'll get it off. I'm sorry. There you go.
I get it. It's someone else talking about storyline. But go ahead, Teach. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you're good. You're good. Okay, so I want to. This is one of those mini segments on SmackDown that I actually think was kind of humorous. It was funny. Jade Cargill, our new women's world champ, our women's new undisputed champion. I know that Joe is not very happy about that. We watched it live together, and he was so incredibly pissed off because he loves Tiffany Stratton.
I have nothing to say about that. I don't care if she was hurt. They could have did a disqualification. You cannot tell me that people are going to come out and see, and nothing against Jade, nothing against her, but Tiffany Stratton is the real deal. She goes everywhere, and people go, and not because her looks, regardless she's beautiful or whatever. She's a performer. AEW let Jade go because she wasn't a performer. And now all of a sudden she's got the belt. Okay, fine. I understand Tiffany got hurt in the match. But there's ways to do it. Knock out the referee or something. Boom. Let her keep a title. That was ridiculous. She should not be that woman's title holder. It's got to be Tiffany. And they're making a grave mistake, an absolute joke. That's my take on it.
No, yeah, I mean, so here's the thing. I am, and yes. So C Money said exactly what she said. I'm not gonna say that, but that's what she said. She basically just came up, literally did exactly this, picked up the mic, said, "All the other women better fear me. I'm that girl." Dropped the mic and walked out. That's exactly what happened. I'm not even joking. That's exactly what happened. And I actually thought it was kind of funny, and it was a cool segment. Because they don't usually do that often, you know? And the occasional swear word in WWE is something that I enjoy, and that might particularly be because I'm an adolescent, but I think that it's...
We all are.
Yeah, we all are. But I think that it's kind of, it's funny, you know. I like how they mix humor into it. But, you know, Jade Cargill, main overall message, I'm that girl, and you all better know it. And then she walks out. The next match that followed that was, never mind, I already covered that. Okay, let's just move on from that. There was an open challenge, Ilya Dragunov open challenge, and the person that came out was Tommaso Ciampa with the rest of DIY, and Ciampa walked out with Johnny Gargano, and Ciampa was like, "I want that shot," and Ilya was like, "Okay, I'm gonna give you the shot," but then he pointed to Johnny Gargano, and he was like, "No, not you, Ciampa. I want Gargano." And him and Gargano had a match, and just as C Money is saying, it was a banger. It was it was a fantastic match, and Ilya did retain, which I'm glad that he did. I think that Ilya is a fantastic talent in the ring. I mean, the selling, the technical ability, sorry, the strikes, he's just incredible. I honestly think that he is a good U.S. champion. What do you guys think?
I agree with you. He's a hard worker, a good worker. It looks like he has some passion for the craft itself. And when you do that, you're going to get over. And right now, I'm saying he's pretty much over, right?
Yeah, no, he is over. He's over. Because he usually, when people come back and return, they're kind of guaranteed to get a good reaction from the crowd, you know. And just like C Money is saying, and like what I was saying too, the H-bomb is such a great finisher. You know, it's so powerful, it's straight to the point, and I love it.
Yeah, well, I don't have a big thing about it because that doesn't move the needle for me. I know we got to watch some of these matches and all that. Doesn't move the needle for me. So I'm glad you guys were talking about it. But again, for me, it's just like it's on the card. Okay, move on. That's the way I look at that. Something like that. It's not going to make or break SmackDown.
No, yeah, it's not going to make or break SmackDown, but I just really enjoy watching Ilya wrestle because he's so agile and he's so
good.
strong. It's crazy to watch him. He's crazy. Okay. Next thing on the card was Ray Phoenix versus Tala Tonga, and to no one's surprise, Tala Tonga won.
Yeah.
Which he's part of the MFTs. This is probably going to spark a debate. How do we feel about Solo Sikoa and the MFTs, especially Tala Tonga and all those other variations of that name, which is basically the same wrestler?
I'm thoroughly confused with it. So again, it's when it's hard to understand, and when you have to ask so many questions about what am I watching or what am I following or what does that mean, or wasn't that last week, or when you got to play catch up, something's wrong. And again, you're creating a faction within the women. And again, women don't need a faction. There's no call for it. But now they got their own war games. They got their own this. They got their own that. I get it. I ain't taking nothing away from it. If you're going to be that much, if you're going to have that many women on the roster wrestling, whether it be in SmackDown, whether it be in Raw, whether it be in NXT or whatever else they got, why don't you just start your own women's federation?
Okay. Or we could do, they could do like their own WrestleMania and have two WrestleManias. One, the WrestleMania, and then you could have a Globe WrestleMania. If you want to involve all these, let's really put it together. The three federations, but separately in a different way, and build up your people that way.
If you put them, like I said, put the women in it, give them their own federation and stuff, and you're not going to be able to saturate the pay-per-view market like you do with the men. I mean, the women would probably have to do one maybe every 3 months or something. They wouldn't be able to do one every month. They wouldn't be able to sell it. And, it might be a tough sell ticket-wise, but if you do it right, you'd be all right because you got so many women. You got the talent.
Yeah.
You put a creative mind behind that knows something about women's wrestling, which is really something very rare nowadays.
Yeah.
I still think the greatest mind that I've ever known with women wrestling, as far as booking it and everything, was Dutch Mantel.
Dutch Mantel, yeah.
Dutch was a genius with women. I mean, all that stuff you've seen running through the late 80s and 90s in the WWF or WWE or whatever, that's all Dutch, man. Yeah. All those girls are under Dutch. And if you don't have that leading the pack, it's just a bunch of strays going crazy, man. And you keep handing out contracts, you just keep clogging the highway, man.
I agree 100%. No, and one thing I got when one of these days I sit down with TJ, we're gonna watch a whole segment on the midgets.
That
I would love to bring back the midgets.
Sky Low.
Your little Brutus.
Hornswoggle.
The Haiti Kid.
The Haiti Kid. The miniature.
Lord Littlebrook.
Oh, so you got. Oh, okay. You cheated. It on there.
Lord Littlebrook was one of the greatest of all time. Oh, you talk about a character, the Haiti Kid, Sky Low. I'm trying to think of the cowboy's name. I can't think of the guy who was the cowboy. There was another. They were great, man, and they worked hard, bro.
Little Brutus.
Yeah.
And you know what they used to do, guys, was they would do. Oh, here we go. Here's a great picture.
They used to come off the second row.
That's him.
There he is. Sky Low.
Sky Low, my God. Bring up, if you can, Little Tokyo. I love
Little Tokyo, yeah. I forgot to mention that Sky Low was the champion back in the day.
That would, yeah. And the funny part of it is when they go and cover, they would throw them up and the referee would catch them and the referee would throw them back in the count. Then the guy would throw them, the referee, until they find it. And then they would tap the referee in the backside.
Yeah.
Back. and just die laughing. Let's see what we have. Oh, there he is,
Little Tokyo.
little Tokyo. Man.
TJ, they would come off the second rope like the Macho Man, bro. I'm telling you, man, it was high up there for him. I think one time in Convention Hall, it might have been this guy. It might have been Little Tokyo who went all the way to the top
Yes.
and just sailed to like splash somebody and missed. It just like bounced like a basketball.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Oh man, I'm telling you, TJ, you'd be rolling. You would be rolling watching. It was real. And then there was Little Beaver. Remember Little Beaver?
Yeah, Little Beaver was crazy.
Cowboy Lang. Oh my! You know,
That's who it was. Cowboy Lang.
We've got to go back in time, and we've got to run a little video on that because you want to have fun. That they did that sometimes in Madison Square Garden and in local shows, and you just crack up.
Yeah, but besides the fact of being entertaining, they worked hard and they executed beyond belief. I mean, how these guys worked together, it was phenomenal. It was something to watch. But even though they were like more or less, they're not a spot, but they had their own thing. You recognize them and all, but they created the storyline during introductions.
Yeah,
that was the key to them getting the crowd involved, because when they would first come out, you weren't too sure who you're rooting for, unless you knew them.
Right.
But they would create a storyline as soon as they were getting introduced. One guy would do something, and you go, "Oh, okay, those are the bad guys," right? Am I right, Joe?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to do a show one day just on the midgets and the lady wrestlers of the 70s. And I think TJ, he could keep bringing up we name them, he'll keep bringing them up. But we do have one or two more matches before we head out. Go ahead, TJ. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. No, you're good.
We get excited about it.
No, I get it. And yes, Donnie Clark, let's all acknowledge the tribal chief. Let's put up those ones. Anyways, okay, so where were we? Ray Phoenix, Thomas Honda. Okay, yes. Chelsea Green versus Julia for the Women's United States Championship. And in a shocking conclusion, Chelsea Green is our new, and she has been it before, but it's our new Women's United States Champion. Gentlemen, how do we feel about this? Does she deserve another round as the U.S. champion?
First of all, you're getting a title change on a SmackDown on a Friday night.
I know.
So that's big.
Yeah.
So that's big. So there's something probably behind that. There's probably building the storyline somewhere along the lines about this.
Yeah.
Because you usually don't get championships changing hands on TV. Very rare. So, kudos to them for doing it. And let's see where we go from here. But, yeah, I mean, great match for her. And there's nothing like a returning champ.
Yeah.
No, yeah. Chelsea Green's awesome. She's awesome, man. She's a great talent. Again, like C-Money's saying, she's so entertaining. She makes every moment on TV matter. Yeah, she's fantastic. And I totally agree with what C-Money's saying. I do thoroughly enjoy watching her matches. And I'm glad that they are giving her some recognition. Anyways, what was the last thing? The last thing, of course. I got everything. Yes, I did. Last thing, Cody Rhodes versus Aleister Black for the Undisputed Championship, which was decided earlier in the night. So, match starts off. It's a regular match like usual. And then Drew McIntyre claymores the referee. Of course, we have this Drew McIntyre thing that, he's kind of been this character for a little while now, interfering with matches, pretending like he's the victim, whatever. Casual heel like we were talking about earlier. And then Drew McIntyre gets involved, whatever, and then Damian Priest comes out, and then he attacks Drew McIntyre and Aleister Black. And then Nick Aldis comes out and then suspends Drew McIntyre. Now, I don't know where they're going to go with this. I have no clue. I don't really know why they would do this. Either to give Drew a break or to further a storyline. But there is no storyline to further because Drew McIntyre just ended his storyline with Cody because he lost to him at Saturday night's main event. I think we can't keep having the same storyline between Cody and Drew. It's getting a little stale. What do we think, guys?
Are they building this to a steel cage match at Survivor Series?
That's the only storyline that I could see. You're right. That's the only storyline that I guess see where this could be going. Definitely probably hyping up War Games.
I just don't understand why Drew ain't champion yet. I don't know why they're doing this to this guy who just is basically right now. If I had to say company man, Drew's your company man, because apparently, I mean, he's taking a lot on the chin. He's taking a lot of losses. It's hard to watch, man, especially when the guy is beyond talented, man. I don't know, man. I know there's a history with him and Triple H, so that probably has a lot to do with it as far as his booking and stuff. But other than that, I mean, they're missing it. They're missing the dance on this one, man. Because Drew, right now they're wasting Drew, unless Drew's hurt, and that's why they did it that way. Or like you said, build a storyline. But how far off is Survivor Series?
It is the 29th, so it's like 2-3 weeks away.
Is that enough time to build a storyline?
Yes.
To continue this, get inside of the
page? They're on TV so much. You know, you got Monday, you got Tuesday, you got Friday.
They also do it over social media. If you check some of their TikTok pages, they do, like, there was just one storyline a little while ago where Jay, you remember this, guys? Remember when Jay, he was like, I want to team up with Roman, and then Roman accepted it on social media, and then we were all expected to come to Raw or SmackDown knowing that he accepted. It's because we have to pay attention to the social media because they also further it on social media.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Sean Browning says maybe one of the shows down the line we could dedicate to Owen Hart, the British Bulldogs, and the rest of the Hart family.
No, totally, 100%.
That makes sense, and we'll talk a lot. We'll talk a little Hart when Lou Edwards comes on, the ring announcer, next Friday night. So tune into that, everyone.
I actually got a story about the Dynamite Kid.
Oh yeah.
I got a story about him, personal story. But yeah.
Yeah, we'll save that in the Hart thing. If we're gonna do a Hart show, that would be great, Victor. Let's we'll put it together, and we'll do something. We'll make it happen. But I'm telling you right now, guys, having Lou Edwards on next week, you won't want to miss this. I am totally promoting this show. This is going to be a great show because he was in the locker room, one of the few people that were allowed. Only the wrestlers, Vince McMahon, the referees. There was no makeup artists, really. There was no reporters, one or two. Bill Apter, George Napolitano. Other than that, and the person that took the wardrobe back, and that was Professor Elliott. There are so many stories that Lou Edwards is going to give. I can't wait. I mean, I know I was around some of them because that's how I met them. But I can tell you, he drove Ivan Putski around. He drove the Samoans around. He drove so many people. Guys, I'm telling you, we're not going to get a word edgewise because we're going to be like, huh?
The Polish power.
Yeah, I am so looking. Guys, you can't miss next Friday night show, please. If you know any wrestling fan, you got to tell them to come on. And if they want to hear stories about wrestlers, he is not gonna shave it. Believe me when I tell you. You hear Lou Edwards, you're gonna love the stories. Also, he did a wrestling album. It was a record of 45 called At the Garden. and it was tremendous. Lou Albano helped him with that. Freddie Blassie. So there's so much going on, guys.
So the names of the past. TJ,
Yeah.
is that wrap it up? That was it for tonight on SmackDown?
That was it for tonight. Yeah. Thank you
And
everyone for tuning in. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Victor, for having me on. Thank you so much. Thank all of you guys.
Before we get out of here, Teach, first of all, absolutely brilliant breakdown of both shows.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Just motoring along like again, your passion for it is really amazing. So definitely don't lose that. One of the things I was what I wanted to do tonight, as I told a lot of people, is I wanted to share a couple stories, just two quick stories about Bam Bam Bigelow. I don't know if you're familiar with him, the Beast from the East.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, he grew up with my family. He lived right across the street from my aunt. So I grew up with Scotty and Toddy and his other brothers, Billy and stuff. But I wanted to share two stories with you. One from when I was very, very young, and then another one that I think you guys would really appreciate. And it was just before Bam Bam got the call to come on up and check out Connecticut for the WWF at the time. And it was in Neptune. They had a movie theater. And on Friday and Saturdays, they'd run Hammer movie festivals. And I wanted to go with one, and my aunt wouldn't let me go unless I could go with my cousin Louie and Bam Bam at the time, because they were going. They were older. So if I went with them, I can get in and all that. So she told, take him, keep an eye on him, don't do this. So anyway, we fast forward, we go to the movies, we come back from the movies, and my cousin Louie, God rest his soul, lost my cousin Louie at about 34 years old, and him and Bam Bam were very, very, very close. They grew up together. So I remember Scotty saying, hey, man, you want to see where we keep our fort in the woods? It's right at the end of the dead-end street. And at that time, Cora Street only had like 4 houses on it, and at the end was nothing but woods. And I'd heard about clubhouses. Now, I am 8 years old, and I'm walking into the woods with my cousin and Scotty at dusk. It's getting dark. And they're like, oh, right over here, right over here, right over here. And the next thing I know, they grab me and they tie me to a tree. And then they take off, and then they started making noises in the woods as it's getting darker. And I start screaming. Next thing you know, my aunt hears me screaming. Long story short, we come out of the woods. As we're coming out of the woods, I remember this. My cousin Louis said, don't you say a word of what we did to you about that. Just say we lost you or something or whatever. I'm like, okay. As soon as we got to the house, I ratted both of them out.
Yeah, makes sense.
My aunt was about, and Joe will testify to this because he had about a handful of them too. My aunt was about 5'1", and I don't think he wanted to mess with her. And I'll never forget it. The first thing she did is she took off her shoe, and chased Scotty right into his house, right into his front door. And I'll never forget that. Now, that was a great time for him. And I try not to get emotional about when I tell these stories about Bam Bam, but fast forward a bunch of years, he's a bouncer with my cousin JV at a bar in Asbury Park called the Quack Quack, which was on the corner of the other corner was the Stone Pony. And in between that was another bar, JV Higginbottoms. And I hung out in JV Higginbottoms, and every now and then we'd walk over to the Stone Pony. My other cousins worked there. I'd get in the door, no problem. The Quack Quack was a little bit of a tough bar. All right, we'll call it some bikers and stuff like that. But my cousin JV and Bam Bam were the bouncers there. Now, JV was Bam Bam mirror. But my cousin JV was about 5'5", but he was as tough as, he was a bad. Oh my God, dude. My father used to say he's a fire hydrant that could talk. But anyway, so we go down to the pony one night, and I'm in line, and this guy in front of me, man, he just started bullying me and just carrying on because I had long hair. He's like, where's your boyfriend and stuff like that. And my boys who I was with, they're like, dude, say something to him. I say, you know what? Hold on. Keep him here. So he turned around, he said something else. I'm like, yeah. You got a big mouth, whatever. Let's see how tough you really are. He turned around, he started talking to his buddies. I took off. I went down the street to the Quack Quack. And as I'm walking up, Bam Bam's looking at me because my cousin was sitting on a stool with his back to me. He's like, uh-oh, here comes trouble. Here comes your cuz. Turns around, what's up? I said, it's this dude down in line, the pony, man, giving me a hard time, man. And my cousin's like, what? And Bam Bam's like, oh, well, let's go see what he's got to say. So here I come, little me, and I walk up. I got Bam Bam on one side, JV on the other side. And the guy, this dude was about 6'4". He was a big dude. And I tapped him on the shoulder, and I said, get tough with me now. And he turned around, and he took one look at Bam Bam. And at this time, only half his head was tattooed. All right, and he was in a tank top with everything. I mean, let me tell you something. Bam Bam was nothing to mess with. He was one of the fastest, most agile big men I've ever seen in my life. And I seen him in action. All right, I'm only telling this story because it's a good one. I won't tell you stories I've seen him in action. But that dude turned around and took one look at him and then looked over at my cousin and looked at me. And he's like, hey, man, I was only trying to have fun. And Bam Bam looked at him and said, maybe you want to go have fun in another town. And that dude tapped his other guy on the shoulder and says, come on, let's go. And they stepped out of line and just walked to their cars. And we never saw them after that. But
Oh, wow.
Bam Bam pretty much told him to leave town.
That's crazy.
But he was one of the sweetest, kindest people you ever want to meet in your life. And I think he gets a bum rap a lot of times. And I want to be on here because this is a wrestling program. I knew the man personally. All my life, I knew Bam Bam. And again, one of the sweetest, kindest people you could ever meet in your life. Unfortunately, sometimes the demons get you. And you can get away from the demons sometimes, but sometimes they'll creep back in.
No, yeah.
So it was sad how Bam Bam went out, but I want people to understand that this guy was a legend, not only from New Jersey, not only from Asbury Park. He lived in Neptune, but he hailed from Asbury Park. But again, a father, a great father, a husband, a great husband, a great friend, and as far as I'm concerned, a great cousin, because I always considered Bam Bam a cousin. So there you go. I just wanted to share those two quick stories. Bam Bam.
Thank you.
The beast from the east. That man tied me to a tree when I was 7, and then came down and not saved my life, but he sent a man out of town for me for picking on me.
Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you. Thank you.
That was great. And Victor, we love the stories, and I hope you'll be a nice contributor to Total Turnbuckle Talk. And
anytime. All you have to do is ask Joe, TJ, anytime. I will be more than happy to jump on here with you, man, to talk this kind of wrestling and to be able to talk like this and share these memories and help a young guy out like you to really remember where these guys came from and what they went through and stuff like that. Yeah, they ate bologna sandwiches, man. Yeah, they did.
Yeah,
they saved every nickel.
Believe me, we're going to hear stories next week. Trust me when I tell you. So get ready, everyone. Next week is going to be a humdinger, and Lou Edwards is definitely looking forward to coming on. I personally haven't seen him in over 30 years, but we've kept in touch. So I'm so looking forward to it. And this is his niche, so we're ready for it. TJ, I can't say enough. Your great work.
Thank you.
Make sure everybody go see TJ Shorts.
Definitely check it out. Definitely check it out.
Go see Joe too. Go see Joe too, guys. Come on.
Yep, and the same thing with our man Victor here.
Yes,
go see his channel by all means. Third Floor Podcast. Let's go.
Yeah, check it out.
Yeah. Without a doubt, guys. You guys are the best. Thank you for a nice, strong stream. And TJ, take us out of here. Go ahead.
Thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy this, please like, subscribe, and turn on those post notifications so you never miss another live stream, upload, or video. Again, I am Total Turnbuckle Talk. I upload all the time. This is New York Yankee Mania. He also uploads all the time regarding all New York Yankees. I cover wrestling, and Victor down here.
I cover everything.
He covers everything. Exactly. He covers everything. Go subscribe to him. He also posts fantastic stuff. And we will see you next time Key events to keep in mind. Do not forget the November 29th, we are going to be doing a live commentary on Survivor Series, so don't miss that. And also, every week on Friday, we are going to be reviewing and recapping Raw and SmackDown, so definitely don't miss that. And without further ado, thank you guys, everyone, so much for watching. Again, if you did enjoy, subscribe, turn on those post notifications so you never miss another upload. And any last things, gentlemen?
No, just God bless you all. God bless America. And let's all stay healthy, and let's all have a great weekend.
Yep.
And as Ken from The Ugly Truth will always say, we'll see you in the funny papers.
Yes.
Just stay safe. Stay safe, everybody. Stay safe, everybody. And remember one thing, people. Mental health is real. So if you or somebody you know needs help, man, numbers out there, 988. That's it. Stay safe. Love you, people.
Thank you, Victor. Thank you. All right.